Daddy's recording. Okay. Okay. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah. Uh-huh. Big puppy. Okay. Okay. Go on. She's clearly thirsty. Welcome back. Like, where do I even begin? Like, there has been so much that has happened in my life since the last time I actually did a episode. The last episode that you guys saw was actually filmed early this year, besides my presentation that I did at Queer Formative, which was really awesome. I want to thank Brittany for letting me be a part of such a fantastic event. But besides that, I got a new job. I got more equipment. Let's go ahead and just quit all the bullshit and let's go ahead and just get right to the tea. So let me go ahead and give you a dab of that coffee. Bing! Run it. If you guys have noticed, I'm a little bit more correct with my green screen, the color right, everything's looking good. I thought that come this second season, I want to give you guys a better product. I'm just kidding. No, I just wanted to really up my game with this because I really want you guys to watch this and enjoy this. I even got new equipment. If you look really, really closely, I got a little mic right there. It's tailored to my butt. It's actually between my butt. I'm just kidding. It's not between my butt. But it's down my back and it's actually hooked over here to the side. So I'm trying to be very, very vigilant on the quality that I'm bringing to you guys. But before we go ahead and like skip all that junk, you came here for one thing. And that one thing is you came here to talk about HIV and talk about Hopeful and Victory Talks, which is the same damn thing. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Wherever it's gonna be, just subscribe. Go watch some of the episodes from the first season. And I did a beautiful, magnificent countdown of the top 10 most played videos from the first season. And the most played episode was my HIV story, which is ironic because I'm actually filming this actually right before World AIDS Day. And I'm about actually running on 5 years since I've been HIV positive, and it seems like a very long time to me. There are, other people who are living with HIV, other people living with HIV who have been living with it much longer, of course. But this is my experience. This is my story, right? And I can't believe it's 5 years, and I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm alive. I have a dog. I have a roof over my head. I have coffee or tea. And I have friends. I have you guys. So thank you so much for coming to watch my channel. But this episode is only just about what we're going to be talking about this whole season, because there is so much I'm trying to pack in for you guys, because there has been so many things happening this past couple of months in the world of HIV, from molecular surveillance to the cure to like a person who, or different trial runs of people who are trying to, or people who have been cured of HIV. Like Like there has been so many things in the world that has happened. I'm just like, oh God, like how do I fit all this in? And of course I can't do it myself. So you already know I'm about to bring in some special guests to come in and just like chop it up with me and just have a freaking gag sharing information with you guys to learn about HIV and how we, you, everybody in this world can remain hopeful in victory. But I wrote down all of my episodes on my little whiteboard. Yeah, I got a little whiteboard now. So there are about 23 different topics or themes, which means I don't know how many weeks that is, but it's a lot of weeks. So far, I have half of these completed, and there is so much video. So if you're actually looking to help with some post editing and you just want to be a good friend, let me know. Subscribe first and then hit my email with your interest, right? But no, just kidding. I just want to share with you guys actually what I want to talk about this season. And some of these topics are things that I've talked about before in the first season, but I want to dive a little bit deeper. I want to get people on here who are actually on prep, people who are actually involved in some of these different topics, people who have practiced these things actually on screen with us and share their experience with me, with you, and the whole damn world. But one of the topics, I'm just going to go down my list, right? The thing that I learned actually when I was preparing for Queer Formative, if you haven't seen that, that was one of the specials that I told you guys that I was going to be doing. I was going to be doing a special episode after the first season, and I was going to go on hiatus. But I didn't. A bitch didn't. Like I was still in work mode and have been in work mode since then. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it and I love it, but I was in work mode. But while I was preparing for my presentation, I actually learned about Patient Zero and then also AIDS Crisis Revisitation, which is, I get excited and like overwhelmed at the same time because I got so many damn brain cells firing off right now. And you know what? We go tackle both of those. And you know what? I'm not going to do it myself. I'm actually going to be talking with a historian actually here who's going to be speaking with us. Fingers crossed that they agree to talking about this in the article itself and the magazine article, itself. And those were the two really interesting things that I learned during my research while I was preparing for Queer Formative. Another one I thought was really, really important only because I experienced I'm Black, like, right? Like I experienced oppression in the most acute ways all the way to the most majoristic. That's not a word. I just made that up. If it is a word, go me. Give me a point. But if not, who cares? But all the way up to the most dramatic type of just obscene type of oppression. But I actually experienced oppression in the workplace. And it actually made me really depressed, angry, sad. And I just want to dive into how we can, or just you or me, or whatever role you play in your environment, how your word, your language, how the energy that you put off can be, like, we want to remain professional, but if you're sitting on the phones taking call after call after call after call, it's kind of hard to maintain, you know, that empathy and like, because people be doing some really dumb shit, like really dumb shit. But you know, we're all human. We make mistakes. The thing is we're all in the same boat. So I'm actually going to dive into that, my experience with that workplace equality. And then I'm actually going to try and bring back a special friend to talk about that as well, because there actually is a study. If you go and search, I won't give it away, but I'll share the link in the bio. We want to work at a place that actually cares about us, not just look at us as a dollar sign or a number, or you know, just whatever that might be, but just as a human. And humans have needs. Humans want to feel safe. So we're going to be diving into workplace equality. Another one that I'm really, really excited to do is marijuana and HIV/AIDS. So This one I wanted to do last season, but I hold it off because if you don't know, Illinois has now made cannabis legal as of January 1st. Hopefully this episode goes out before then. I'm pretty sure it is. But by then, I'm going to be rounding up different stores, different people to talk to and just be like, okay, how is this benefiting people's acute pain to their chronic pain? And just kind of like talk to people who are actually practicing those things and see the benefits of it, because I actually have a good friend who really is into this stuff. Like, she was trying to get me on it and I was just like, girl, I'm gonna just take my 1-a-day pill and I'm good. I'm not trying to light up every hour, because if you knew me in college, is all I gotta say. You knew I was the Cookie Monster, and you knew. Another one that I actually learned was I've been doing a lot of training, going into a lot of training through IDPH, HIV Care Connect program, where we learned about social determinants. We learned about different tools that people can get to if they don't have access to a car to get to where they need to get tested. Maybe they can get the information that they need off of their phone and get linked into care right from their device. So there's so many emerging technologies that is out there for communities that don't necessarily have all the resources that you and I are privileged to have. No, I didn't talk about this one too extensively in the first season. I actually want to dive into the NOAA campaign because there's actually some really cool things about it that I wanted to share and reiterate with you guys that I learned myself too. So I'm going to dive into that. Another topic and thing that I wanted to introduce to you guys is the different coalitions and also outreach programs here within Central Illinois. So if you don't know, you don't know today. When you live in Central Illinois, there's not a lot, or I shouldn't say a lot, but it's hard to find a safe space as a black man, a safe space, black queer, safe space. And there are a lot out there, but just where I can go and just talk about my black queer experience and laugh at the shit that I go through as a queer black man, like that is, it's not a lot of places where I can go and do that. So I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about different outreach programs, different coalitions that are making efforts to do that, to making things inclusive here in Central Illinois. Because if you don't know, like, people who are from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, but like, since I've been living in Central Illinois for the past like 5 years now, like Chicago's like a state of itself, and then everything below or after like the 100s, it's a whole nother state. Like, maybe even not even the hundreds, maybe like Kankakee. That's pushing it. Like, that's really pushing it. But I'm gonna say Kankakee. Once you go into Kankakee, you in Southern Illinois state. You're not in Chicago state. See, this one I actually have a really hard time with, just personally. It's harm reduction, and how that can actually help people. And I'm extremely biased, but I took the time out to really break down those bias and the things that I've had developed because of my experience with drug abuse myself, and drug abuse from people I've known, and lost a really special person in my life to a drug overdose. And harm reduction can really benefit a lot of people. So that's going to be a hard one for me to dive into, but I'm excited to be vulnerable and talk about those experiences where that can really help a lot of people who don't necessarily have all the resources that they may need. There's HIV myths. So excuse me when I'm like blah, 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 because I can't get like blah, 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 right? But HIV myths, people have been like calling my channel like a myth debunker, or I'm debunking myths, but that's not really the case. I'm just trying to share my experience and bring on people who are well educated, just like I am, but people who actually practice this for a living, directors, professors, historians, people who are actually going on the field and talking to the people who may need the help that I've received already and have now been and have now gone into a better place or have been moving into a better place. But just really making this an educational experience. I'm not here to be like myth, truth, or myth or false or whatever it is. Like, that's not what we're here to do. But then again, I did that last season. That was actually the first time I actually started my channel, was because I just started questioning on my Instagram page, hey, true or not, is this such and such? And people who actually won actually got a free hoodie. So I'm gonna bring that back. There's actually gonna be a week where I'm just gonna be on my Instagram channel. If you aren't following that already, you can follow that channel at Hopeful and Victory Talks on Instagram, or you can just go to my YouTube page and the link is already there. So you can follow that there. And yes, we're gonna be bringing that back, and I'm gonna be giving away a free hoodie. And maybe if the time comes, you can probably get a free shirt. So there might be a preference in there, depends on who the winner is, right? So my next topic that I want to go ahead and discuss is HIV Care Connect. This was a really good tool, only because when I made my job transition, my health insurance didn't kick in. I was freaking out. I ran out of medication. I didn't know what to do. And there were a lot of good people in my corner pointing me to the right resources, not just for that situation, but just going on that website. There is so much information there, but that's the scary part. Because there's so much information there, it's kind of like, it's tricky to get in there and just feel comfortable and know what you're doing without being like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Someone come help me, please. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna be having like a little screen over here while I kind of talk through the process, and I'm gonna try and do different things here and actually show you where you can go to find this or that, and maybe get a good person here that I've been talking to just kind of talk about that. So I'm excited to really share HIV Care Connect. If you haven't checked it out already, it's called, again, HIV Care Connect, and it's just a really extensive site filled with many, many resources for anyone who's looking to get up to getting tested, getting transportation, counsel, legal advice, just a really wholesome piece of information. The next one that I'm super fucking excited about, because y'all know last season I had a fucking riot bringing my family on here. So of course we're gonna be bringing back Family Week. This time I want to bring in my brother. Is already one of them, because you guys are gonna love him. He is dramatic. Like he's the only diva. Him and my mom are the only divas that I can tolerate in my life at this point in time. But I'm eager to bring him on along with other relatives. I'm just excited to bring back Family Week because we just had a really good time. And plus, in my family, sometimes it seems kind of lucrative to talk about STDs and things like that, but when you talk about it, you learn something, and there are stories that are told that you never know that was happening, and then you can relate. So it's kind of nice to be a little bit vulnerable, excuse me, in front of your family, because not every family can do that. I know my family, we're a very tough family. Like, we show love through action, right? Like, words are nice, but action is where it's at. But the next thing after that I'm bringing back is Truths, Dares, and Friends. So if you haven't seen that already, go into the first season. I did a week where I just brought on some really good friends, and we just played Truth or Dare, and we painted unicorns, we painted canvases, we talked about what our sexuality was. We really dove into a lot of stuff. This season I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I actually have not a board game, but I guess a sex game, but it's a safe for work sex game where it's educational. So I'm eager to pull that out along with some other really cool stuff. I'm a third through. We're almost there. Another one is I'm going to be talking about is PrEP. We talked about PrEP a little bit in the last season, but I want to dive in deeper because the state of Illinois is really pushing, and I'll talk about this, but getting to zero and how we're going to get there. And PrEP is one of the key tools for us to really getting to zero by 2030. And then also Black health and homosexuality in church. Like, that's going to be a tricky one. I'm still working on getting people to kind of come on and talk about that because even though this is meant to be educational, sometimes people who work in certain establishments have to come on and They can't speak for that establishment, but they can speak for themselves. When it comes to black health and homosexuality in the church, that is all, baby. That is like, if you take like an atomic bomb and a pot of old spoiled like macaroni and cheese and like put it together, like that's some diabolical shit right there. Like, I'm lactose intolerant, and just thinking about it, it's just disgusting. But it can be catastrophic, or it can be learning, or it can be good. And so you already know where I'm going with this conversation, right? We going to the left side. We gonna go with the good, okay? Because that's what we all about. We don't want to go with the catastrophic. So we're definitely diving into that and really trying to break that down and disseminating why that exists within the black community. So of course, you already know I'm black, and we talk about black related topics, but we also talk about HIV related topics. We also talk about trans related topics. We talk about everything, because the channel is not just for black individuals or queer individuals. This channel is to be for everyone, inclusive. So that's why I bring on a slew of different guests who represent different aspects of life, of the rainbow, however you want to put it, the spectrum, to come on here and just make this more and more inclusive conversation for all of us to relate to.
More than 1 million people in the United States are living with HIV. We are your family, friends, and others that you love. HIV does not define who we are. When you support us, you make it easier for us to live healthy lives. We all have the power to stop HIV stigma.
So back to my list, I got 4 more. So HIV and pregnancy, that's gonna be one I'm really excited to do. I've met a good friend who is a part of a breastfeeding group, and I'm really excited for her to come on and just really talk with me about how moms operate and navigate in that realm for moms who are living with HIV, or who are living with HIV, excuse me. And so I wonder what that's like. And to be honest, I'm pretty curious myself, because I want kids, and I always thought it would be impossible to have my own kid because I was HIV positive. But science has come a long way, and there are things that, if you don't know, that are possible. So, last couple ones, but owning HIV. This is actually a relatively new campaign. Owning HIV, this is like a campaign designated to monitor millennials and Generation Z to see how well they know about HIV and PrEP, right? And trying to get them to learn about it. But there's like so far they've done a brief, not a brief, but they did the first couple of studies of this, and it came back really bad. Like millennials, they had on their millennials, I think it was about 20-some% of millennials don't want to be hugging anyone who's living with HIV. I'm a fucking millennial. What the fuck, y'all? Like, come on, like, support me. Where y'all at? Like, come on. And then there's Generation Z, which is below me, so the 18 to 22 or whatever. Like, that is pretty scary. Only because HIV has been existing well before us. So many people have died from this, and so many people are living with this too, who are my age and even younger. So it's an interesting campaign that we're going to be talking about, because Lord, oh Lord, you should have saw my face when I read that. I got 3 more here. I'm actually going to be incorporating some cool stuff. I'm going to be doing commercials throughout my episodes, like not like ones that are just like obnoxious. Like for me, I get like the Bictari commercial. If you're a man living with HIV, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. I understand. But skip. And they're just going to be quick commercials throughout the episodes, just to remind you, if you're ever feeling depressed, sad, lonely, hopeless, these are some things that you can take away and you can do yourself, and they don't cost a damn thing. The last 2 is getting to zero and what that means to Central Illinois. This one's going to be a really extensive theme, only because there are so many individuals who are a part of this Getting to Zero campaign. If you don't know what it is, go ahead and search Getting to Zero, GTZ, Illinois, and you can actually see that Illinois is had started an initiative in regards to no new HIV cases by 2030. And so I'm kind of like, okay, well, doing that in Chicago would be very feasible and possible. Not saying it wouldn't be possible anywhere else, but I want to see how that's going to look like here in Central Illinois. What are the different marketing tactics? What are the different resources that are available to advocates and leaders such as myself, so we can help push getting to zero here in Central Illinois. HIV trivia, which is, I love that, just trivia week. It doesn't have to be HIV related. I'm actually going to expand it. I said that incorrectly. It's just trivia week, where I talk about different things from cartoons and TV shows to clothing lines, but I'm just really trying to expand my knowledge, but everything educational. So when I say clothing line, I mean like brands that support LGBT or black businesses, things like that are conducive or positive to the movement or to the cause. And my last topic that I have here is HIV. This one's a tough one, only because if you haven't noticed in the past year, the transgender community has been like under attack. And I mean, I've always been under attack. Hell, we all are under attack, but we've now seen more and more cases in the news of transgender female and male and black communities, or black and brown communities, are being killed or being murdered. So I want to dive into some of that and kind of pick pieces on that. But that is my last all of my topics for this season. I just wanted to give you a roundabout of what this agenda is going to bring, because I want you to subscribe, I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to come here excited. Because I'm excited, and not every day I wake up excited. Some days are bad days and some days are good days. But nonetheless, I got up, I got a breath, and I'm here. So I'm happy about that. Just that little bit is enough for me to get up and smile. But if you guys haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I appreciate your support. Drop some comments if you think I should do some other topics. Just let me know. I love talking with you guys. I love when you guys message me. You send some in my DMs. Just don't be freaky or weird. But be respectful. I appreciate respect over anything. I know this face is nice. This face has broken a few hearts. I'm just trying to protect yours. I'm kidding. And as always, stay hopeful in victory. Bye-bye. Wait. Don't go just yet. I didn't even tell you what's been happening with my entire life, right? Do we have time for that? I don't know why I'm looking back like I'm the only person here.